Tiny Beautiful Things by Cheryl Strayed is a collection of advice columns written under the pen name Sugar, but it reads like a deeply personal memoir woven through the lives of strangers. The book's core is radical empathy. Strayed answers letters about love, loss, addiction, family, work, and meaning by refusing distance. She brings her whole self to each response, modeling how honesty and kindness can coexist with firmness and truth. The opening sections establish Sugar's voice as intimate and unguarded. Rather than positioning herself as an expert with neat solutions, Strayed shares her own wounds, mistakes, and grief. This vulnerability becomes the book's method. Readers learn that credibility in emotional guidance comes not from perfection but from lived experience and the courage to speak plainly. A major theme is grief, especially the kind that never fully resolves. Strayed writes about the death of her mother and how it fractured her sense of safety in the world. She reframes grief as something to be carried rather than conquered, urging readers to stop rushing themselves or others toward closure. The actionable insight is to allow sorrow to exist without apology and to let it change you. Love and heartbreak appear throughout, often in letters from people stuck in longing or betrayal. Strayed challenges romantic fantasies that keep people trapped, especially the idea that suffering proves love's depth. She encourages choosing dignity over obsession and self-respect over waiting for someone who cannot or will not show up. The work here is learning to tell the truth about what is happening, not what you wish were happening. Family relationships, particularly with parents, are treated with nuance and compassion. Strayed acknowledges the powerful pull of family loyalty while validating the need for boundaries when harm is ongoing. She does not offer easy forgiveness, instead emphasizing self-protection and clarity. The practical takeaway is that love does not require enduring abuse or erasing your own needs. Addiction and self-destructive behavior are discussed without moralizing. Strayed writes candidly about her own past choices, showing how pain can drive people toward numbing strategies that ultimately deepen suffering. She focuses on responsibility paired with self-compassion, encouraging readers to seek help, tell the truth, and take one honest step at a time toward change. Work, ambition, and creative life also receive attention. Strayed speaks to people paralyzed by fear of failure or convinced they lack permission to pursue meaningful work. Her advice centers on showing up consistently, accepting imperfection, and valuing effort over outcome. The actionable message is to begin before you feel ready and to keep going despite doubt. One of the book's most powerful ideas is the concept of radical responsibility. Strayed asks readers to stop outsourcing their happiness or waiting for rescue. This does not mean blaming oneself for pain, but recognizing agency in choices moving forward. She frames responsibility as empowering, a way to reclaim authorship over one's life. Forgiveness is addressed as a complex, personal process rather than a moral obligation. Strayed suggests that forgiveness can be internal and quiet, not necessarily involving reconciliation. She gives permission to forgive for your own peace or not forgive at all if it feels false. The practical guidance is to prioritize emotional truth over social expectations. The book repeatedly emphasizes the importance of telling the truth, especially the uncomfortable kind. Strayed urges readers to speak honestly to partners, family members, and themselves, even when it risks conflict. She presents truth-telling as an act of love that prevents deeper harm later. Learning to tolerate discomfort becomes a key skill for growth. Compassion, in Strayed's view, is not softness without limits. She pairs warmth with clear-eyed realism, often delivering tough love when needed. This balance teaches readers that kindness can include saying no, ending relationships, and accepting endings. The actionable lesson is to practice compassion that does not abandon self-respect. Strayed storytelling elevates the advice into literature. She uses specific memories, vivid scenes, and emotional precision to make abstract ideas feel lived and real. These stories invite readers to reflect on their own lives, seeing patterns and possibilities with new clarity. The narrative approach makes the guidance memorable and human. Another recurring message is that brokenness is not a personal failure but a shared human condition. Strayed normalizes feeling lost, ashamed, or afraid, reframing these states as starting points rather than dead ends. The book encourages readers to stop comparing their insides to others' outsides and to trust their own unfolding path. By the later sections, the cumulative effect of the advice becomes clear. Strayed is not offering fixes but cultivating courage, patience, and self-trust. Readers are invited to grow up emotionally, to grieve fully, love bravely, and accept uncertainty as part of a meaningful life. Tiny Beautiful Things ultimately argues that beauty comes from engagement, not avoidance. Through pain, honesty, and compassion, people can build lives that feel real and alive, even when they are messy. The book leaves readers with a quiet confidence that they already possess what they need to face their lives, provided they are willing to be truthful, brave, and kind.